So, by now, if you're on social media, you are aware that the UK Charity Commission has finally concluded its investigations into sentebale. And honestly, there's an uproar, there's a huge uproar on social media. I hate and I loathe this witch, this agent of chaos known as Sophie Chandauka. A part of me, ever since I started reporting on this story, since it broke back in April, had hopes like it's the UK Charity Commission. I mean, let me just a tiny bit of hope that they'll do a good job and conduct it like be fair. But after this, I'm really sensing foul play, and I know this has Charles and William written all over it. Like it's a royal stitch up. You can clearly see. So I'm going to tell you what the findings are, and of course, Harry, just broke silence and he's really devastated. You can feel it. And of course, my heart bleeds for him. And most importantly, my heart bleeds for all these kids, the beneficiaries of sentebale. Because of this one woman, they are not going to receive, the help that they need. And it's so sad. So I just took part because everything else with the whatever they were saying is word salad. I just took a part of where finally they have cleared Prince Harry of bullying accusations. So here's what they say is, here are the findings. A number of concerns were raised by different parties after conducting interviews and thoroughly reviewing all evidence submitted. The commission found the delegation of certain powers of the chair, including consideration of an executive chair role, was a confusing, convoluted, and poorly governed process with a lack of clearly defined delegations over time. The then trustees failed to have proper processes and policies in place to investigate internal complaints. More generally, a lack of clear policies contributed to the failure to resolve disputes. And then it was satisfied that public statements made to the media and public criticism made in television interviews were conducted in a way that served the charity's best interest. Based on the evidence provided and reviewed by the commission, it found no evidence of widespread or systemic bullying or harassment, including misogyny or misogynoir at the charity. But the Commission has acknowledged the strong perception of ill treatment felt by a number of parties to the dispute and the impact this may have had on them personally. So overreach by either the chair or the Duke of Sussex as patron by the Commission is critical of the charity's lack of clarity in delegations to the chair, which allowed for misunderstandings to occur. So I told you it's word salad. What I was interested in is the fact that they cleared Harry of bullying, misogyny, and misogynoir. Like that was one of the things. We know Harry is not that person. So this also just proves that this woman, this witch, is a liar. She is the biggest liar. So here's where the uproar comes in. Like, what happened? These people, first and foremost, it's so annoying that this woman continues to remain as chair of sentebale. That's why I'm telling you this foul play. You can sense it from a mile. And then on top of that, what happened? They did not investigate on the mismanagement of funds. What happened to the $600,000 that Sophie Chandauka took without the board's approval? What happened to her diverting funds to these close associates of his? Like, what happened to that? All this is just like all this and this, or the both parties, they could have done this. They did not find ways to resolve, but it's word salad, and it's so infuriating. The main thing is, or the main problem was Sophie Chandauka's management of sentebale. She stole funds from sentebale. She mismanaged funds, and no one, like, in this report, there's no mention of that. It's just like, oh, Harry, the bullying, there was no bullying, there was no misogyny, there's no misogyny, both of them, or going to TV. Harry did not go to television. It was Sophie Chandauka who ran for her 15 minutes of fame to say how Harry was bullying, harassment. And where is the apology? And the worst part, why is this woman still chair of sentebale? That is what's so infuriating, you guys. Why is she still at sentebale? What is she doing at sentebale? The people were really relieved that Harry has to walk away, like no longer stay at sentebale. And I can see that, because who wants to stay in that mess? But one thing that makes my heart hurt and makes my heart bleed is the kids. the kids, and of course for Harry and Prince Siso. They founded this charity back in 2003. They put in the sweat, the tears, the blood into creating Sentebale, to building it to where it is today. And this woman is sinking it to the ground, literally sinking it. And you know what? She's being backed by William and Charles, who cannot stand the success of Harry. They cannot stand that. So, it's the UK. Right now, anything that involves the UK, don't ever have the benefit of doubt. I thought for a bit like maybe they'll do a fair investigation, but I have come to accept the fact that there'll always be sabotage. These people just wanted to ruin Harry's legacy. They want to ruin him. They know this means so much to him. It's dear to him because of his mother. So they are going for the jugular. They want to destroy it, to tank it to the ground. Because the first thing they would have done is remove Sophie Chandauka as chair. What happened to the money? Nothing. But anyway, Harry broke silence after this was released. This is what he had to say. And reading it, my heart, I could just feel like he's just so much, he's just in pain. Have you ever felt, you can read and you feel like this is so emotional. Like it is so emotional, you can feel it to the core, to the bone. So here's what Prince Harry said. In a statement responding to the findings, a spokesperson for Prince Harry said, unsurprisingly, the commission makes no findings of wrongdoing in relation to Sentebale's co-founder and former patron, Prince Harry, Duke of Sussex. They also found no evidence of widespread bullying, harassment, or misogyny and misogynoir at the charity, as falsely claimed by the current chair. Despite all that, the report falls troubling short in many regards. Primarily, the fact that the consequences of the current chair's action will not be borne by her, but by the children who rely on Sentebale's support. The spokesperson continued. A source tells people that Prince Harry and Prince Siso see no way back to the charity while Chandauka is in place, but that they are keeping their options open. Both Prince Harry and Prince Siso are devastated by what has effectively been a hostile takeover by Sophie Chandauka. The source close to the former trustees and patron says this was Prince Siso and Prince Harry's life work. They established it 19 years ago and in that time put in blood, sweat and tears and their own money into building this charity up to what it was, a multi-million pound charity that delivered nothing but good for the beneficiary community that is supported in Lesotho and Botswana. Harry and Prince Siso, we really know it's so devastating. It must hurt. You've worked so hard. The legacy of your mom, and to have it taken away from you, and of course to have the kids who are supposed to benefit from that also be hurt in the process. It's really sad. And by who? By one disgusting evil woman who is Sophie Chandauka, the one pathetic disgusting woman. I have never hated anyone in my life the way I hate this woman. I hate her. The fact that she gets to remain as chair is really, really telling. That's why I'm telling you, it's foul play, it's royal stitch-up. They just want to hurt Harry. And I've seen people say, Harry and Prince, so you guys can open another charity. And I pray that he does, because at the end of the day, that's who Harry is. His heart is big. He has a big heart for people. He wants to make change, to make the world a better place. So I can see that happening. But of course, to walk away from something you've also worked years, it must hurt. It hurts. I'm not the founder, but it hurts. And the audacity for Sophie to think that people are going to keep pouring in money just when she's still chair is really, really funny. It's hilarious. How is she going to raise money? Remember, the minute Harry walked away, everyone walked away. And to date, people, even in light of this, people kept saying, oh, they're never ever going to see a dime of mine. Harry, please just open another charity. We will support you from whatever it is, we will go. But please, we will never. You cannot trust this woman. How can you trust a woman who spent $600,000 on nothing? Literally took this money away from the kids. And you think if you donate, she's going to use this money for the good to help these kids? Do you think she's going to do that? So people don't trust her. And I love the fact that she's been exposed as a liar, that there was no racism, misogyny, or bullying, harassment. So clearly her credibility is out the window. People are not going to want to be associated with her unless it's William and Charles. And even they, with time, they'll drop her. Because one thing with them, they just want Harry to fail. They want everything Harry does to be miserable. They don't want Harry to win. So who's the pawn? Sophie Chandauka. So it's really sad. So there's an uproar on social media. People are very pissed, rightfully so. And yeah, let me just show you what the internet is saying in regards to this. People are really, really pissed. Hold on. I feel so bad for the kids, because at the end of the day, the kids are the ones who are not going to benefit. It's the kids that are not going to benefit. I Am Said says Sophie made horrific allegations that turned out to be lies, yet she was not investigated for misusing funds. Harry needs to pull his charities out of the UK. I agree. Marisol says it will be great if the princess would create a new foundation and continue the mission with renewed strength and full of possibilities for children and young people. Lara says, I hope Harry sues this woman to oblivion. Alleging bullying and harassment where there is none is cause for defamation. True. Juliet says, geez, I hate that woman so much. I hate this was all planned. Take over. Batang says, so basically, Sophie Chandauka is a barefaced liar who made false allegations to deflect from being accountable for her own bad governance, literally destroying an amazing organization. What an appalling human being. Ojo says, sentebale is as good as dead. Prince Harry and Ciso should distance themselves from Chandauka. The bot should never be a part of this either. It is a miscarriage of justice. Sentebale cannot function with Sophie still there. Let's see how she runs the place. Absolutely. Marge says, I hope both princes... sorry, I've read that one. Paul says, how could the commission allow Chandauka to remain as chair, given her now proven false allegations? Are they not obligated to present an impartial investigation? She obviously has the backing of someone in power, and with Rawlinson on board, it's not hard to figure out who. SK says, she came in with, if I can't have you, I will destroy you attitude, but failed miserably. She may have stolen the charity, but Harry's name is now detached from it. Good luck collecting the needed millions without him. And Sue says Harry needs to make sure that Sophie can't use his image, name, and that of his mother anymore. Then We Speak the Truth says, I know this will be an unpopular opinion, but I'm glad Harry is not going back to sentebale. It's irreparably damaged and no credible person or organization is going to want to be associated with it. Let the now confirmed liar Sophie sink with it. Harry can start afresh. Youth says, I'm just sad that a 20-year legacy is down the drain. Next year, they would have celebrated 20 years of sentebale. But I've learned that when God shuts down a door because he's omniscient, he's got better things in store. But we mere mortals hang on to the past. Perhaps it's a good thing. Yeah, probably maybe it's a good thing that Harry is, stepping away from sentebale. So Megan says, I'm kind of sad for him, but I hear your point that Sophie is going to rush to Prince William to get the funds. So guys, there's such an uproar right now, and it's really, there's so many comments. I just want you to know there's an uproar. I cannot read all of them. But people are not happy with this one bit, especially with the UK Charity Commission's investigations, like their conclusion and the findings. People are not happy, neither are they satisfied. You can see it as clear as day that there's foul play. For anyone who's saying you can see this foul play, that those ones who are glad that this has ended and they want Harry to just start afresh and they'll support them. And of course, there are others who just feel like it's still his legacy. He has a right, both he and Ciso have a right to fight to, reclaim it. So either way, we just have to sit back and wait to see what happens. But on the good side is Prince Harry has been cleared of this bullying, misogyny accusations from this witch Sophie Chandauka. So that's it, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm Irad. Stay safe. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.